it's time for the after session with licensed therapist Aurelia Anderson Thompson. I'm Charity Bailey, host of Girl We Need to Talk, and we created this space so that we could dissect the episode prior to the after show, if you will. It's a place where we come to get very honest and have conversations amongst our girlfriends and our licensed therapist. And while this is not therapy, she definitely gives us some things to think about. So, Aurelia, in episode 5, we met Dominique Sensabaugh, and she also experienced postpartum, but she has another layer to it. She is a Black woman, and she's also married to an NFL player. Postpartum looks so different for everybody, Aurelia. We know that. But how do we experience it differently simply based on the fact that we are Black women? What are some of the stressors that we experience that other women may not experience?
It's the idea that we can handle it all. And it's called the strong Black woman schema, or some of us have casually termed it as the strong Black woman syndrome, is where we can do it all because we're just built that way. Like we're Harriet Tubman, like we're just built that way to take everybody along the journey with us to freedom, right? Because we're the strong Black woman, that we're resilient. We are the caregivers of all people. And while that helps us, it also hurts us, because what it does is, and it's been studied, there have been lots of papers written about it, but it literally is that, no, we don't have to. We don't have to be the caregiver of all people's feelings, the caregiver of all people's dirty laundry, the caregiver to all people's BS. Like, we just don't have to.
Take the cape off.
To prove that we are someone, to prove that we're worthy. We're more than just that. And so I think for women like Dominique, the moment we can say, I am strong, but I don't need to be that for you to value me. I can be weak. Let me just give you some facts. My uterus is weak right now. In my postpartum.
Traumatized.
I mean, it's the truth. And so your uterus is trying to reshape itself. It's trying to get all the cells, get all of that, and just get back to what it was. And the thing is, it won't. After every childbirth, it changes. Okay? So, no. Right now, I am a little weak. I'm going to get better. That's the resiliency of the strong Black woman, right? But right now, I'm going to lay this stereotype that you have of us, and I'm going to just pause and rest a minute, because that's what I find is unique to women of the African diaspora. It is that they place that on us, that in order for us to be valued and worthy, we have to handle it all. Nobody should be asking any woman who just gave birth to do anything. I'm sorry. Let me bring it down.
No, it's true. Listen, I'm with you. Go ahead on.
She doesn't need to drive anybody to school. You find somebody else for that 5-year-old to get to school. She doesn't need to be driving right now. She needs to be at home, resting her body, her mind, her soul. So that is what I find unique to Black women. And oftentimes, and I'm not negligent, I know my people, that's sometimes their story. There is no one else to take that 5-year-old to school. And you know what we do? So strong Black woman, you who are there, guess what? We're going to find something different. We're going to ask for help. I know it's hard, but we're going to ask. We're going to find, if they can come and ask you to borrow some sugar, let's figure it out. Who can we ask to help get 5-year-old to school?
Yeah. And it's hard to ask for help.
It is. It is. there's so many layers to that. They've been let down before. There is no one to ask for help. They don't know how to help. They've never seen anyone else help because their mother and their grandmother and great-great-grandmother, they did it all. But we're going to break some chains today. We're going to break some of that, and we're going to do things differently, and we're going to get you some help that you need in this season of your life.
Now, you mentioned something that I never even thought about. Clearly, I don't have children. I serve as support to a lot of friends and family who do. But you said that it's never going to be the same. Why don't we say that more often to women? Like, your body's never going to be the same. It's not going to get back. We always say the snap back, the snatch back, whatever. But that, based on what you said, that's not true. It's a false expectation.
It is. I'm sorry.
No, I want you to say it louder for the people in the back.
It's biology. I'm sorry.
Don't blame me, blame the science.
It's the science. Let's just take it there. So, because we don't want what was to be lost. We like status quo. It's comforting. We need that. We need stability. Children need stability. We need stability. But we also have to understand that in this finite self, things are going to change.
Because in Dominique's episode, she does talk about some of the irrational thoughts that she had. One of them was the fact that she was thinking that the babysitter was going to take her child. Now, mind you, it was a new babysitter, but still, she acknowledges that that was irrational, but she just couldn't back up from it. How do you help your clients or help women, especially new mothers, work through those irrational thoughts?
Yeah. And so, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is a evidence-based model that is used a lot with people who suffer from depression and anxiety. One of the tools that we use is the CBT triangle. So what the CBT triangle is, it's the cycle: thoughts, emotions, behaviors. Your thoughts lead to your emotions lead to your behaviors, which reinforces the thoughts that then lead to the emotions that lead to the behaviors. And so with my clients, I help them when they're having irrational thoughts. We're working to get them to have rational thoughts, rational truth telling. We tell the truth. What is true about this situation? So I won't address hers, but let's just take something like the thought that I have in the morning is my day is going to be miserable. I'm going to have a bad day. It's going to be miserable. If I'm thinking that and I'm believing that, how do you think I'm going to feel?
Miserable.
I'm going to feel miserable. I'm going to feel sad. I'm going to feel worried. I might feel just no energy, lack of energy. Well, what happens when you feel you have lack of energy and you're fatigued? You don't want to do anything. So I'm going to just stay in bed. I'm just going to, not answer the phone, and whatever behaviors come from there. If we can change your thought and say, what's true? What's true is, I haven't seen this day yet. I don't know how it's going to go. I have a 50-50 chance that it could go well. Okay. So emotion is, I have a little bit of hope. I have a little bit of anticipation to see what the day is going to be. There's a little bit of energy there. Behaviors, a behavior could look like, I see a pretty lady. I see a handsome gentleman. I'm going to ask them out because I have this 50-50 chance that this day is going to be great. Right? Thoughts, emotions, behaviors. It was a very, very simple example.
So I understand. I'm like off topic of postpartum, but okay. Cool.
but I didn't want to take I didn't want to take one of those examples for this, but that is the idea.
Got you.
So in a situation of postpartum and the irrational thoughts that could come because there's some chemical imbalance. Once again, everything internally is shifting and adjusting. Your hormones are resetting. So our thoughts may be a little cloudy. So we tell ourselves the truth. What is true? The babysitter. Ask yourself, has anything occurred that this is a legitimate concern? And then you just kind of go through the list of what is true. You tell yourself what is true. Then when you start telling yourself what's true and what is factual and what you know, infuse that with some positivity, some positive affirmations, you will begin to feel better because your thoughts influence your emotions influence behaviors. And so that's how we work with irrational thoughts for people, especially those who are depressed. We find a lot of irrational thoughts there, especially and with anxiety a lot.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now we got to wrap up, so I want to make this quick.
Okay.
I think it's important because Dominique shared that as she was transitioning and experiencing postpartum depression, that she lost some friendships. So how does a woman explain to her friends that she is different and she's going through some things like, yo, just have some mercy on me, give me a little grace?
That what you just said?
Just straight up like that?
Straight up. If they're your friends, you talk to your friends how you talk to your friends in any situation. This is no different. You tell them straight up. Things are different. Things are changing. I don't know how to navigate it. Rock with me.
Yeah, and maybe show up a little extra during this time because every friendship is like that. It's not always 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40, 70-30. I need you more than you need me. We balance each other out. So there you have it.
There you go.
We'll see y'all next time. Thank you for joining me.
Bye.